Get all the action. All the news. Don't miss a beat. With all your Chicago sports. Windy City Sports.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Windy City Sports. I'm your host, Vincent LaFollette.
And I'm your other host, Henry Strakowski. We are glad to have you back and glad to have you guys all watching.
In today's episode, we've got your usual professional sports updates, but before we get into those, let's go over to our region rundown, which we'll jump into now.
The Valparaiso High School girls basketball team is making quite a run as per usual. After their recent victory over the 6-20 Maryville Pirates, the Lady Vikes are heading to regionals. If they win the regional, then they will head to semi-state, and then the state championship will follow. Valpo faces off against Northridge in the regional. Currently, Valpo's best player, Lily Barnes, has broken many school records, including total points, rebounds, and steals. Valpo will need Barnes to play like this if they want to win these next few games. Lily is averaging 21.3 points per game this season, while the second leading scorer on the team, Delilah Kincaid, is averaging 12.3. On the Northridge side, Lily Scholl leads the team with 18.0 points per game. It's going to be a close one, but it should be a great game. Be sure to tune into that. I know I'll be watching. Now that's it for the region rundown.
Thanks, Henry. That's what's going on in the region. And now we're going to head to our Bears analyst, Luke Powers, for some talk on the postseason that just ended and the playoffs up ahead.
The Bears season came to a close against the Los Angeles Rams, but that was not the end of the NFL season. The Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots faced off against each other at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. The Seahawks beat the Patriots 29-13. There was no touchdown by either team till the fourth quarter. The first touchdown was scored by Seattle Seahawks wide receiver A.J. Barner with a 16-yard catch from Sam Darnold, who had 202 yards and one touchdown while completing 50% of his passes. Despite what it looks like on paper, Drake May did not have the best game. He had 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. The big game changer was the Seattle defense having 6 sacks. Some might say this was a boring Super Bowl. It was not boring if you're a fan of defense. And even though it was a very defensive-heavy game, Kenneth Walker still walked away with the Super Bowl MVP. That was a rundown of Super Bowl 60. Now, let's take a look at what the Bears have done this far off this offseason. First, the Bears lost their offensive coordinator, DeClane Doyle, and they're promoting Press Taylor to offensive coordinator. The Bears need to really work on their roster. They have $5 million of available cap space, so general manager Ryan Poles will have his work cut out for him this offseason. Lastly, the Bears might be the Chicago Bears for much longer. Northwest Indiana right now has the upper hand on where the Bears build their new stadium, but recently Illinois lawmakers are closer to striking a deal with the Bears. Illinois and Indiana have both taken too long now, and Iowa wants a hand in the Chicago Bears pot. Iowa State Senate has passed a bill to grow economical growth, which includes incentivizing the building of a professional sports stadium. Windy City Sports will keep you updated on what the Bears do next concerning their new home. The Bears had a great season, and they have a lot of things to do over the offseason. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lee. As the NFL season comes to an end, many of these playoff teams have bright futures, including the Seahawks and the Chicago Bears.
Definitely an eventful season for the sport. Although the football season has just ended, the baseball season is right around the corner, with spring training coming up very soon. We will be right back with our baseball, basketball, and hot takes after the break, but before that, we have a trivia question for you.
Who is the only Japanese-born player to play for both the Cubs and the White Sox? Think about it. We'll give you the answer right after these messages.
Do you like watching sports? Well, here at PC3 Media, we cover many different sporting events. In the fall, we commentate and broadcast the Valparaiso home football games. In the winter, we cover basketball games from around the region and have won awards for our Couch sectional coverage. We also discuss professional sports on our podcasts, such as The Blitz and Towing the Rubber. Be sure to check out the PC3 YouTube channel for our sports live streams, and make sure not to miss a moment of the action.
If you're looking for something new, go to the PC3 Media YouTube channel. PC3 Media features content created by students and staff with their creativity. We have lots of playlists where you can find short films, sports broadcasts, radio shows, TV shows, and much more.
Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. This is so cool!
If you want something new and creative, check out our YouTube channel with all the amazing content that we have to offer. Don't miss out.
Welcome back to Windy City Sports. I'm Vincent LaFollette.
And I'm Henry Sirkowski. Before the break, we asked, who is the only Japanese-born player to play for both the Cubs and the White Sox? And the answer is Kosuke Fukudome.
Kosuke Fukudome made his MLB debut in 2008 with the Cubs, becoming an All-Star and coming in top 6 in Rookie of the Year voting that year. After his 4 years with the Cubs, he was traded to the Cleveland Indians, and after that he spent his last season with the Chicago White Sox, making him the only Japanese-born Major League Baseball player to play for both the White Sox and the Cubs. And that leads us into the baseball side of Chicago sports, where we'll see 13 players on the World Baseball Classic rosters between the Cubs and the White Sox. From the Cubs, we'll see Alex Bregman, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Matthew Boyd play for the USA. Additionally, we'll see Jameson Taillon for Canada, Miguel Amaya for Panama, Daniel Palencia for Venezuela, and Javier Assad for Mexico. From the Southsiders, we can look forward to watching Munetaka Murakami for Japan, Sir Anthony Dominguez for the Dominican Republic, Curtis Mead for Australia, and Kyle Teal and Sam Antonacci for Italy. The World Baseball Classic will start on March 5th before the WBC. We can look forward to watching the kickoff of spring training on February 20th, leading up to MLB's opening day on March 25th, followed by both the Cubs and White Sox opening on the 26th. The Cubs and Sox will open their spring training in a face-off against each other. And as of right now, here's how the Cubs' opening lineup is supposed to look like. The big name here, of course, is Alex Bregman. Slotted second in the lineup and playing third base, Bregman's addition to the team should be very exciting to see. What really stands out about this lineup is the stellar defense. There will be 5 Gold Glovers in this lineup to back up the improved starting rotation, featuring Matthew Boyd, Edward Cabrera, Kate Horton, and Shodi Minaga, and Jameson Taillon. Looking at the South Side, the lineup is one of the best we've seen out of them in years. Top to bottom, this team is loaded with young guys with a lot of upside. I don't think we'll see a winning season out of them just yet. However, they've set themselves up nicely to be competitive in the coming years. I'm especially excited to see how Munetaka Murakami adjusts to big league pitching. Maybe he can even come away with the Rookie of the Year award. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Vincent. Before we continue, we have some messages over the break. And we have another trivia question for you. Who is the Bulls player with the most three-pointers made all time? We will be right back with our Chicago basketball update, so stay tuned.
Come on, man, they gotta pick me. I'm their friend, and this guy's hurt anyway.
No, we want the guy in the blue shirt. He has a sprained ankle, but he's still better than that guy.
Can't believe this kid's on our team.
I know, right?
Oh, what's up, guys? Can I play?
We actually have enough people, and they're actually good at this game. Yeah, maybe get good at the game so next time you can play with us.
Hey, son, are you gonna go try out for the basketball team?
Man, I don't know.
I know all your friends are doing it too.
But I don't even know if they're really my friends. Welcome back to Windy City Sports. The answer to the trivia question, who is the Bulls player with the most three-pointers made all time, was Zach LaVine, with 1,130 three-pointers made in his Bulls career.
Ball cuts. Dosunmu leaves it for LaVine. The step back for the record. Yes! Bang, bang, bang.
Sports about trust issues. There are reports about a disconnect between one of your star players and the head coach. How do you handle that?
Well, you know, I've come from the old school mentality. There's a three by Zach. Well, now everything's on social media, but you've got to keep. There's another three.
Kick out into the corner to LaVine, who hits. He's on fire. Hasn't missed yet tonight.
We've already covered Chicago football and baseball, so now I'll hand it off to Lucas Gonzalez, our Bulls analyst. Take it away.
Thank you, Vincent. As the trade deadline came to a close recently, the Bulls decided to make some moves that will change the trajectory of their future. It appears that the team is entering a rebuilding stage. First off, the Bulls decided to sign veteran guard Mike Conley. And then after only a few days, they sent both him and Kobe White to the Charlotte Hornets for Colin Sexton, Ousmane Dieng, and 3 second-round picks. Kobe White's skill set has been labeled as all-star caliber, but is yet to make an all-star team. And next, they sent Nikola Vucevic to the Boston Celtics in exchange for Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. And for the third and final trade, Chicago sent Ayo Dosunmu and Julian Phillips to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Rob Dillingham, Leonard Miller, and 4 second-round picks. Despite trading away many of their stars, the Bulls acquired the former 2022 number 5 overall pick, Jaden Ivey, who played for Purdue University. He's only 23 years old and is a very, very promising player in the league, even given his struggle with injuries so early in his career. At this point in the season, the Bulls are not quite in the playoff look and will not have a shot at making the playoff if they keep up their current pattern. They're still fighting for a play-in spot, and with only a short bit of time left in the season, anything can happen. Maybe we'll see the Bulls make a run this year. That's it for the Chicago Bulls update. Back to you guys at the studio.
Thank you, Lucas. That sure was an eventful deadline. And for our next segment, we have a hot take that's going to be called in from one of our viewers.
My hot take is if the Bears pick up Max Crosby or Myles Garrett, they'll be Super Bowl winners next year.
All right, let's break it down. Henry, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so honestly, with the Bears, they went kind of far this season. They kind of exceeded expectations. And a lot of people think that if they did have a better defense that they would have gone farther. And honestly, they probably would have gone a little farther, but this team is still very young and they still have a lot of potential, but they haven't proven, at least in my eyes yet, that they can win a Super Bowl if they have these defensive pieces. Honestly, it might take a few years to get to that point. And if they did get Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, we definitely could see them in the Super Bowl in a few years. But next season, I honestly don't know if they could make it to the Super Bowl. But what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I definitely agree with some of your points. It might take a few years for them to get to that point. But I think someone like Myles Garrett or Max Crosby just makes that defense so much better. And then those close games start turning into 1 or 2 touchdown victories. And I really loved what the offense showed, especially in the postseason. Caleb Williams, really promising, especially last couple games. And I think that offense is right where they want it to be a championship contender. They were so close this year, and I think a better defense, especially with Myles Garrett, that would make all the difference. And I think that would make them a Super Bowl team, at least a contender, and a very strong one at that. Now we're going to go to our Bears analyst, though, and see what he has to say about this.
I really like this take. To start, the biggest need for the Bears going into next season is making their defensive line a lot better. If they had a player that would give consistent pressure to the QB while he's in the pocket, it would make the defense way better. The secondary would result in having more interceptions and the QB not having that much time in the pocket, and the running game would be less of a threat during close games. So my take on the matter is that the Bears would be the team to beat, and they would win the Super Bowl if they upgraded that defensive line. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that analysis on that hot take, Luke. And thanks again to Luke Powers and Lucas Gonzalez for being the Bears and the Bulls analysts of today's show, respectively.
Yeah, and catch us next time on Windy City Sports for more updates on the region and on your professional sports teams in Chicago. Thank you, and goodbye.